Hey, fourth grade. Welcome back, guys, to another day. I hope you guys are still staying safe and healthy. Hope you're finding different ways to keep your brain active, reading independent reading books, logging on to Lexia and ST Math, maybe some typing agent, Mayan, just any way to keep your brain active so you don't lose anything that you've learned thus far. Today's focus will be on the writing prompt that is located in your packet on page 45. That's the writing prompt at the end of Unit 2. I'm going to walk you guys through TAP today. Of course, that means we are getting ready to plan our writing. All right, so go ahead and turn to page 45 in your packet, and then we'll start walking through TAP. All right, so on page 45, you'll find the prompts. Let's go ahead and read through it together, and then we'll fill out TAP, all right? So the prompt says, you have read a passage from The Wild Horses of Assateague Island, Wild Ponies of Chincoteague, and In Thunder and Rain, Chincoteague Ponies Make Annual Swim. Think about the illustrations from the passages and how they help the reader learn more about the ponies. Write an essay explaining what can be learned from the illustrations about the lives of the ponies described in the passages. Include details from all three sources in your explanation. All right, so let's start with the T in TAP. So I know that everyone knows what the T in TAP means, so I'm going to give you a few minutes. All right, if you said T stands for topic, you are correct. And of course, the topic is, what are they asking us to write about? So out of this prompt, I want you to see if you can identify exactly what they want us to write about in this essay. Go ahead and underline it with your pencil or pen, whatever you're using. Go ahead and underline that topic. Underline what they're asking us to write about. All right, these are the things you should have underlined. First, they want us to think about the illustrations from the passages and how they help the reader learn more about the ponies. So our writing is strictly focused on the illustrations of all three passages, okay? Just the illustrations, the pictures, the photographs, okay? They want us to write an essay explaining what can be learned from the illustrations about the lives of the ponies. And we have to include details from all three of the sources that they gave us, all three of those passages. That is exactly what they're asking us to write about. So for the T, the topic, we want to write down what can be learned about the ponies from the illustrations. So what do you, as the reader, learn about the ponies just by looking at the illustrations? That's our topic. That's what we're writing about today, okay? Let's move down to our audience. So our audience is, who are we writing this to, okay? When we think about this type of essay, think to yourself, in order for someone to understand our writing, this specific writing, do they have to be an expert on ponies? Do they have to know all sorts of information about ponies and horses? Or could this be read by non-experts, people that may not know any information about ponies or very little information about ponies? Think for just a second. All right, you are correct if you said non-experts. You don't have to know a lot about ponies or horses to be able to read this essay, okay? And last but not least, we want to think about our purpose. Why are we writing this, okay? And we want to think about the pie, right? Are we writing this to persuade someone? Are we writing this to inform, so give someone information? or maybe even explain something? Or are we writing this to entertain? Are we writing a story just to entertain someone? Let's think for just a second. Okay. So if you look back in the prompt, it clearly says write an essay explaining. So our purpose today is to explain, and explain what specifically? The illustrations. They are asking us to explain the illustrations. Okay. So we filled out TAP. The next thing we're going to do is move on to our outline. And so you'll come back tomorrow, and then we'll get started on our outline. Okay. Thank you guys, and I'll see you again tomorrow. See you.